Hey guys, it's me, Sabina. I haven't posted in a while, and it's because of school, and I am taking summer classes, so it's not like I'm gonna be posting more often anyways. But what I have decided was I'm just gonna start making videos in pieces instead of making an entire video all at once, because that's just not possible with my school schedule. So throughout the video, if you see me in different outfits, in different clothes, that's why. So I've been wanting to make this video for a really long time. I love names. I love how they could really be someone's identity. You have to choose just the right name, and that could be overwhelming, but at the same time, I think it's beautiful. And I love finding out where the names come from, why someone decided to name their child or their pet that. And so yeah, I decided to make a name video of subtle nature names, because maybe there are people out there who like nature, but maybe don't want their kid to outwardly be nature-y. Like, you don't want to name your kid Rose or Cedar or something like that. Maybe you want something that's like more of a name than a nature name. And so I came up with a list of, I believe I came up with a list of 20 names. I made this Google Doc in February, and today is June 5th. And these are subtle nature names. So what I mean by that is that the meanings are nature themed. So let's get to it. The first name I have here is Arush. It's an Indian boy name, and it means first ray of sun. It's within the top 1,000 in the US as of 2015, ranking 971. And I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the video, I will include like the links to all the info, so you could verify yourself if you want to. The next one I have on the list, I really grew to love. At first I was like, okay, that's a nice name, but then I kept seeing it over and over again because, you know, I was writing this stuff. And the name is Aelia. It's spelled A-E-L-I-A because A-E makes the I sound in Latin, because this is a Roman name. It's a Roman girl name, and it means sun as well. And it's totally unranked in the US. And this name might have been derived from the Greek word helios, which means sun. The next one I have on the list is Brandon. I knew a Brandon in elementary and middle school, so that's a very, you know, well-known name for me. But I found out that it's also a nature name. It means gorse hill. It's an English name, and it's ranked 181 in the US in 2021. The next one is Chana, and I know some people might correct me in the comments and say it's actually Hannah, and that is right. The other pronunciation is Hannah, but that's the Hebrew spelling. I'm talking about Chana in this case, which is a Sanskrit name that means moon, and it's a girl name, as well as Hannah is. The next one I have, which is also a fairly common name, it's actually very common, it's in the top 100s, and that is Chloe. Chloe means fertility, but it also means young green shoot. And I really like the name Chloe personally, but it does remind me of the Miraculous character. But honestly, I like that character too, and I wish they didn't butcher her up. But that's a conversation for another day. And it's ranked number 24 in the US as of 2021, and I'm guessing it's probably going to be much more popular now. The next name I have on the list is a Slavic name, which is nice because I'm Slavic, I'm Polish, so you know it's nice to include like a Slavic name in there. And Danica, or Danica if you want to pronounce it more American. It means morning star, and in the 2017 it was ranked 870 in the US. The next name I really love. I think it's so cute. It's Fraser or Fraser. You can pronounce both ways. It's a Scottish boy name and it means strawberry, and I think that's just the cutest meaning ever. And it's not ranked at all in the US, but it is ranked number 72 in Scotland in 2021. I think it's adorable. Like having a little boy that means strawberry, little Fraser, love that. And I think it grows so well. Like I could totally picture an adult named Fraser. I think it's great. The next one is Hadassah, and it means myrtle tree. It's of Hebrew origin. It's a very Jewish name. And I remember someone on Reddit, because I follow name nerds on Reddit, and I remember I think I mentioned something about Hadassah, and this user said you shouldn't use it unless you're Jewish, because it's a really Jewish name. So I'm not sure if that's a bad thing that it's a really Jewish name. I guess it's just more unheard of if you're not Jewish. But thought I'd put that out there. It's ranked 697 in the US in 2021. So I think it's rising up. So there's that. The next one on the list is Jessamy. It's a nice variation of jasmine. I think I might prefer jasmine though, but Jessamy means jasmine flower, and it's completely unranked in the US, and it's an English name. The next name I really like, Kalinda. I think it's so pretty, and it reminds me of the instrument kalimba. I think Kalinda is beautiful. It's a Hindu name for a girl, and it also means the sun. A lot of the Indian, Hindu, and Sanskrit names I have written down mean sun. I think it's a very beautiful name. It's totally unranked in the US, and I wrote down here that it might be related to the Kalindi Mountains in India. So I think that's really cool. So if you like hiking and you like sunny days, that might be a really great name for you to choose. The next one, I'm not a fan of this name. No offense to people who have this name. You could roast my name if you want to, that's fine. It's Leland. It's an English name and it's gender neutral. It means meadowland. And I think with the rise of the name Meadow, maybe Leland would be a more unique name to choose. It's ranked 430 in the US in 2021. My gripe with Leland is I just don't think it grows well. I can't really imagine an adult named Leland. And I know there's the argument that, you know, that's what people said about the names Susan and Linda and stuff, but I don't know. It's not for me, not my favorite. The next one on the list is a classic name. It's the name Margaret. It means pearl. It's of Greek origin, and it's becoming very popular recently, especially on Reddit. A lot of parents want to name their kid Margaret, so those classic names are coming back. And I've written down that it's derived from the French word marguerite. I'm sorry, don't come at me. I'm part French somewhere, like my great grandma apparently or something. So, but it means daisy, which I love the name Daisy, but we're not talking about nature names, we're talking about subtle nature names. I think it's so cute to name a kid Daisy. But anyways, Margaret. And Marguerite comes from the Latin name Margarita, which came from the Greek name Margarites. So it's like a whole timeline of events there. The next name on the list I think sounds really pretty. It's Neda. It's an Arabic name, and it means dew at sunrise, and it's totally unranked in the US. I really like the name Neda, but since Spanish I think is the second most common language in the US, it might not be the best choice since it reads as nada, which means nothing in Spanish, so might not be the best choice, but I think Neda is really pretty. The next on the list is Ogden, and in my opinion, I think this name is totally gonna be increased in the name charts. Currently, it's completely unranked, but I think it's gonna become popular soon. It means from the Oak Valley. The next one on the list is actually, I didn't know this, but it's like a fake name, like a made-up name, and that's Petra. I didn't know it was a made-up name, but it was actually fairly recent that it was that Peter was feminized into Petra, and that was in the around 19th century that they decided to make a feminine Peter. I thought it was always a thing, but apparently not. It means rock or stone, and it's not ranked. It's unranked in the US, but it is fairly popular in some European countries. It's number 46 in Hungary, and in Bosnia it's also number 46, and it's number 14 in Croatia, and this is from 2021. The next on the list is Rylan, and I'm not a fan of that name either. It's for the same reasons as why I don't like Leland. It's of English and Irish origin, and it's gender neutral, and it also means island meadow, and it's ranked 338 in the US in 2021. The next one on the list I really like, and I believe it's also rising in the chart. It's Samson. It's a really nice Hebrew name, and I think it's like a classic name. It's timeless. I think we won't ever get over the name Samson. It's like it works well for like little boys. It works well for like teenagers, and it works well for young adults, and it works well for elderly. I think it's a timeless name. I think it'll never get old, and it means sun. So that's another one. A lot of these names mean sun. It's ranked 590 in the US in 2021. The next name on the list is Wesley, and it's actually a gender neutral name. I thought it was only a boy name, but it is gender neutral. It means Western Meadow, and it's ranked 84 in the US in 2021, and surprisingly, even though it's an English name, it's not as popular in England. It's only ranked 625 in England in 2021. The next one on the list is Yara, which is an Arabic name that means water lady, little butterfly, friend, or helper. And I love the little butterfly meaning. I think it's so cute. I love butterflies. Yeah, that's a nice name. It's ranked 659 in the US in 2021. And the last name on this list is Zara, and it's Hebrew and Arabic origin. It means blooming flower, or God remembers. So if you like nature and you feel like you have also a close connection with God, so you want to honor God, Zara might be a nice name. It's ranked 213 in the US in 2021. Now I have some honorable mentions, and these honorable mentions is just names that I feel like didn't make the cut for it to be a flat out nature name. It's more like it has connections with nature rather than being a nature name. And the first one is Cosima. That's how I pronounce it. I love it, but Henry said no because it sounds like cocina, which is kitchen in Spanish. But I think Cosima is so pretty. In England they pronounce it Cosima, which I don't really like. I don't like Cosima. I like Cosima. I think that's pretty. It's Greek. It's a Greek origin, but it's the Italian feminine variant of Cosmo. It means order and beauty because Cosmo in Greek means order. It's unranked in the US, and I chose this as like an honorable mention because, like I said, Cosima came from the word cosmo, and it means world or universe in English, so that's kind of nature-y, you know. The next honorable mention is Dalton. It means the settlement in the valley. It's ranked 518 in the US in 2021 and number 723 in England in 2021. I don't think I mentioned this earlier. When I say ranked, I'm talking about popularity, like how many kids were named. The next one on the list is Eliana. That name is becoming very, very popular. It's a Hebrew name. It means my God has answered, and it's ranked number 43 in the US in 2021. And the reason why I included this in the honorable mention is because it might be a variation of the name Ileana, which is the female version of the name Aelianus, tongue twister, which is derived from the Roman family name Aelius. And Aelius is related to the Greek word helios, which means sun. So in a very roundabout way, Eliana also means sun. The next name is Hermione. I love the name Hermione, but I think the first person to ever, when you think of Hermione, you always think of Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. But I think it's a beautiful name, Hermione. It's a Greek name that means messenger and earthly, and surprisingly it's unranked in the US, which I'm surprised by because Harry Potter is really popular in the US, so I thought more parents might want to name their daughter after Hermione, but no. And a fun fact I wrote is, in ancient Greek mythology, Hermione is the daughter of Spartan king Menelaus, oh my goodness, and his wife Helen. And if you had read the Iliad, you know who Helen is. The next one on the list is Taya. It's Japanese. It means young or home in the valley, and it's ranked 3,284 in the US in 2021. Oh, that's the last one. And I guess I didn't have to divide this video into chunks for me to complete, so that's really cool. I was able to finish this in one go. If you want to give other names, other subtle nature names that you think would match with this list, go ahead and comment that below. And I have a lot of subtle nature names. I only took 20. I didn't count while I was reading. So I'm probably gonna make a part 2 and part 3 and part 4 and part how many, because these videos are fun to make. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Bye.